It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, you champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and stew. I've been stewing on this shit all day. What is going on? Yes!
It's that that time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
Boom, 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 boom.
You know what it is.
My man, we are back live once again. It has been too long.
Too long.
Welcome, everybody, to the Two Dudes Talk Music live stream. My name is Reverend Rav. This is my co-host, Kyle, a.k.a. Beer Buddy, and we are here with another live one for you after 2 weeks away, because we had those really banging international ones for you. We had Insane E talking all about his work with Magic Ninja Entertainment and seeing Linkin Park like before they blew up with one step closer. Go and check that one out if you're into Juggalo stuff. Interview. And then last week we had the interview with Neil K, rock DJ extraordinaire from the back in the day, talking all about his book, all about being there for the rise and the evolution of the new wave of British heavy metal. Oh man, we got to get that guy back on again for 100%. Sure. If you like your old school stuff, go and check that out.
He's always welcome.
The dude was with Bon Scott the night Bon Scott died. That's a story that you want to go and hear.
Yeah.
So that's
3-hour interview. The guy was so humble too.
He's so good, so awesome to talk to, and it's his first ever Australian interview too. So we got that exclusive, baby. But yeah, go and check out his new book, Recollections of a Rock Club DJ. It's available now through, I think it's madeincroatia.net, something like that. If you go to our page, there's a link for it. If you go to the video, I think we put a link for it in the description. But, mate, how you been, dude?
Dude.
How you been? We haven't been on for a little while, so we're just catching up.
Man, honestly,
and I got these glasses on for a special reason. I know they look
dude, I love them.
For a special reason, which we'll get to.
I love them. No, I've just been doing a little bit of work with the Ram It Down Fest in Camden. You gotta crack the can. I've already cracked mine. You know what? But that's empty.
Even though it's just a Coke.
That's empty. Friday Junior.
Get on it.
So I've just been doing work with the Ram It Down people, and that's been going gangbusters. We had a raffle giveaway at the last one. Our good mate Glenn walked away with 5 shirts.
5 shirts? What a haul,
5 shirts, stickers, CDs. You know, we're just trying to spread a bit of love over back in Sydney since the people are coming out. We want to try and spread the love a bit. So
that's so good.
Keep an eye out for the next one, December 15th, and I think that's going to be another raffle and another big giveaway. Cool. So keep an ear out for that. But dude, what about you? How's Nuclear Vision? How's the receivership going after the video? How's Zach? How's Brad? How's boys?
Everyone's doing all right. I mean, look, we had we played Wallapalooza the other week, which look, I'll admit we had a bit of a rough go of it. There was a number of technical issues that we encountered, but we pushed through. We put on the best show we possibly could under the circumstances, and I think that we did pretty damn well.
Yeah,
I mean, considering that we ended up playing at basically the same time as 28 Days was playing upstairs, so, that kind of took a lot of the crap. But look, it is what it is. It is what it is. We put on a good show. We did the best that we could. We sold a bunch of tickets to the show, and we got paid. So we're happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. We're looking forward towards the new year. We're lining stuff up for that. I got my new face in the mail yesterday, which is good. So
I saw that today. You posted that today.
Yeah, I saw you sent you a thing of that too. But mate, I'm excited for today because not only are we back with the live streams, but we've got someone that I've been acquainted with for a very, very long time. A gentleman I met many, many years ago when I was still living in Sydney, and I think he was only living in Sydney for a brief few months as well when we happened to cross paths. So what do you know? We've got my mate Jake, and he's talking about his new band, PULGIZARI. Mate,
how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
What is to see you, my friend?
Oh, not a lot. Just came to talk to you guys about some rock and roll, drink a few beers.
That's the way. We love it.
Talk my shit. Talk my talk.
Awesome. Well, speaking of talking shit, we've all seen the Knotfest lineup?
Yeah.
That's why I got these babies on, because Skindred's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I said it in the run-up. The whole time. I'm like, you know what? Skindred hasn't been here for a while. They're a good festival band. I looked at their fucking schedule. They had a bit of a gap. I'm like, I fucking... Fingers crossed, maybe. Could it happen? They were a long shot. No one else seemed to think it was happening. And then the lineup dropped and boom, there they were. So I'm rocking these for a minute. I'm gonna take them off now. So the stupid things. But that's why I was wearing those because I am fucking stoked that Skindred is gonna be coming back.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that are, different opinions on the lineup.
So many complaints. So many complaints.
When isn't there? You tell me one time a festival dropped and everyone was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you know what? That's a valid point, man. Like
everyone's
every good things. It's like, oh, Devo, Limp Bizkit, and Fallout Boy. Fuck this. I mean, like, are you kidding me? Could you get more diverse? Like,
I know. That's what Big Day Out used to be.
And Good Things is not, like things like Good Things is never meant to be a metal festival.
No.
It's like a rock festival.
It's an alternative festival.
It's a range of stuff.
That's why people like the Veronicas can play Good Things next to heavy bands like, I don't know who played that year. I'm gonna maybe Behemoth or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking cool. I like music by Behemoth, and I also like some of the Veronicas songs.
See, it's a win-win for everyone.
Gives you variety. Like, I'm looking at that Good Things lineup. The timetables dropped, and I was pretty happy with it. I'll be honest with you. Like, timetables. I know we have started to talk about Knotfest, but the Good Things timetable dropped, and me personally, I was pretty okay with it because there was all the bands I want to see are kind of not really clashing with one another. I think the closest I got to a clash was, I think Behemoth finishes about 5 minutes before Limp Bizkit starts, so I've got to and I'm not going to risk I'm going to probably watch half of Behemoth and then go and try and get a spot for Limp Bizkit or something. But but getting back to Knotfest, I'm like, I saw someone going, "Oh, Pantera's the only hard band on there." I'm like,
what? Lamb of God?
Are you what? Like,
Lamb of
God is basically, 10 years younger Pantera.
I would argue that Lamb of God's just a little bit harder than Pantera.
Probably.
Like, heavy-wise.
So, and like you got, I don't know, man. I just.
You're never going to keep everyone happy, though. Let's just face it. You're never going to keep everyone happy. But at the end of the day, did anyone notice Speed got on there?
I've never even heard. See, that's one of the bands where I'm like, I've never even heard of Speed. Who the fuck is Speed?
Speed is a hardcore Sydney metal band.
Really?
There you go.
They're Australian.
Yeah. If that's a Speed I'm thinking of, it's the only Speed I know.
Well, I spotted King Parrot's on there too.
And King Parrot.
Rad for them. That's awesome for those boys.
See, how is this a mid? It's a mid lineup.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? You can go here.
It's the
Matty
first
Young's.
one. You can't tell me there's not going to be more.
No, I think that's it.
That's it? Oh, I'm totally stoked with that. I'm totally stoked with that.
It's the whole lineup. And you can go and see King Parrot. You can go see Matty Young fucking squelch his fucking brains out and then go hear Lizzie Hale. Man, Lizzie, how can you call it? I just don't know how you can call a lineup with Hailstorm mid. Lizzie Hale is one of the best vocalists on the fucking planet right now. If she sneezed next to a pregnant woman, it would be an A sharp, and that pregnant woman would have an abortion immediately.
Oh, Jesus.
If she coughed next to my dad, his testicles would rupture. That's how fucking on point that woman's voice is.
And look, and the thing is as well, like I'm obviously I'm very hyped for Skindred. Like we've established that.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing is, if people see Skindred on that lineup and don't get excited about it, they've never heard of Skindred before.
Yes.
Like, Skindred is one of those bands that and the fact that this is where I love the fact that this is it's going to have one double stage. Like it's going to be one double stage, no clashes. So everyone's at the same stage all day. This is where it's really going to work to Skindred's advantage because wherever they are in the lineup, they're going to have a bunch of people that know them that are going to be ready to go. By the end of their set, everyone there is going to be into it. Because that's the kind of band Skindred is. Skindred is the kind of band that will pull you in and you will go, fucking, I'd love, like, where has this been? So, I'm really, really excited to see Skindred there.
I like that. I like that take, man. Where's, like, that reminds me of something, man. Like, where is the fucking sense of discovery?
Yeah.
There is no sense of discovery with these fucking festival goers these days, man. No. I remember No Sleep Till Fest a million fucking years ago. No, it was like 10 years ago. But like No Sleep Till Fest, it had Megadeth, it had like Friends Will Rom, it had Catatonia. I remember waiting for I can't remember who I was waiting for to come on, but I'd never heard of I'd heard of Atreyu, but I'd never really listened to Atreyu, and I got stuck in the Atreyu pit. By the end of that fucking show, I was the biggest Atreyu fan in the fucking world. Like that guitar player with the Japanese headband, he's doing all the double tapping and reaching over his neck like he's fucking Eddie Van Halen, Jason Becker, double decker, let's go. And they had hair metal songs. Like it was like I thought this was like a post-hardcore, like a hardcore band. No, they were like glam as fuck, dude.
And yeah, you're right. And the thing is, I think people have, like, people are losing that sense of like, okay, I don't have to know every band on a festival or like every band on a festival for it to be a great lineup. Like, and look, I appreciate the fact that there's a lot of very conflicted opinions about Pantera as they exist nowadays.
Yes,
not just from the lineup perspective, but also a lot of issues around, accusations of racist behavior and things like that.
Exactly.
For me, I think when I recall on the podcast previously saying that I would probably, when they actually announced the reunion, that I would probably only see them in a festival environment, which this is.
Lo and behold.
I am going. I'm going to Knotfest for a number of bands. I will take the opportunity to watch and enjoy Pantera's set because I have never had the opportunity to see any incarnation of Pantera before in my life. I never got to see him back in the day.
No.
And I know it's not Dimebag, and I know it's not Vinny. It's the closest I'm ever going to be able to get.
Yeah.
And this now means that in the space of 2 months, I get him to cross Mudvayne and Pantera off my list. Bands that I've, wanted to see live and never thought I'd be able to see live, and am getting the opportunity to. So I'm pretty excited for that. Disturbed as well. I mean, I haven't seen Disturbed in yonks. They I last
They're
saw them
solid as fuck.
like 10 years ago, something like that, probably more, if I'm being honest. And Lamb of God, obviously, like, again, I haven't seen Lamb of God in several years, but I'm excited to see them again. Like, they're always a good show. Like, this lineup has balls, and anyone who says that it doesn't, anyone who thinks that it doesn't,
You just there to complain for the sake of complaining.
They're looking to complain because they want to complain more than they want to be happy.
Yeah.
I think I need to say this to the people out here listening that are complaining. It's a festival lineup. If you want every band there to be something that you like, go curate a fucking playlist.
Yeah.
It's not your personal playlist.
Yeah, everyone's got to enjoy
festival. It. Shut the fuck up.
And they'll sell tickets. They'll sell out.
Yeah, all these people like Pantera and all the whatever, like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Pantera, one of the greatest, most influential metal bands of all time. No matter what you
Still
fucking whiny motherfucking pussy say, it's gonna sell tickets. We love Pantera.
Yeah.
The only thing that could be better is if they were playing some of their hair metal albums. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, or the only thing that could make it better is if Dimebag and Vinny were there.
Of course.
Other
I mean,
than that,
look,
it's the only
I'll
thing
be
that's going to top it.
I'll be honest. I know it's not going to happen, but if they were to bust out like Projects in the Jungle or something like that, I'd be real
Proud
fucking
to be
happy.
loud, man. I would go fucking off for Proud to be
Ride
loud.
my rocket.
Dude.
Ride my rocket. I feel like there needs to be a Pantera tribute band that does like a two halves of the set, right? That does the glam shit, then has intermission, and then comes back and does the post glam shit, and like has an outfit change in the middle and everything. I'm
That'd be
talking
an
like
interesting show.
Fucking good idea. Part Glam Terror, part Pantera.
You could call it Glam Terror.
You could call it Glam Terror. That's like the name. The shit. It's already there.
Yeah.
Like how?
Glam Pantera.
If anybody out there wants to do that, I just want to say I'll put my hand up.
Yeah, Raph, I think you have an idea there.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think something like that'd be pretty cool. But Yeah, man. So look, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Good Things. I'm obviously going to that one. I'm going to be down there in a couple of weeks, whenever it is. I'll be wandering around. Like, if you see me, if you're watching this and you see me and you want to come up and have a chat, do it. Please come up and say hi. I know it's not very likely, but if you want to come up and say hi, please do. We'll have a chat. We'll talk about everything that's going down. And I'm going to be down there trying to catch a little bit of footage, trying to interview some people, some of the punters out there, see how they're feeling about the day. Get all that good stuff happening. So if you catch me down there, come and say hi. I might get you in a video on the channel and all that good shit. But look, we are here to talk with Jake about his new band, PULGIZARI.
Yeah.
That's right, is it? That's
No, PULGIZARI.
PULGIZARI.
Sorry,
PULGIZARI.
mate.
PULGIZARI.
I'm trying to...
So, here's what spun me out about PULGIZARI. I've never, ever seen a band do so much work pre-releasing anything. Like the legwork that you guys, like I've heard about you guys, I've seen you guys on socials for the last 3 weeks, and it's been non-stop.
Yeah.
It's been non-stop. At least,
Really?
Yeah, at least once, twice a day.
Okay.
You pop up in my feed. So whatever you're doing it right. And I'm just like, what? I just sit there and I watch it. And I'm like, who is this marketing genius?
So that's actually our drummer Danny. We would be like me. So got to start at the beginning, right? So
Please do.
Ryan and I, my guitar player Ryan Wills, fucking great kid, man. He's just like little Van Halen, Dokken, Judas Priest dude. Like he's just like the most metal, nicest, most humble fucking dude. We have been working on demos for this band for 8 to 6 months. About a month ago, if Ryan walked past me on the street, I wouldn't have even known who he was. But we had already recorded music together, because that's the power of the internet, right? Mm-hmm. So he had been recording demos and programming drums and sending them over to me, and I had been like doing my thing on there, cutting some shapes on his tasty riffs. But we were going to work with a drummer, and the drummer that we did have originally is an amazing drummer, a very talented guy named Dommy Kickdrum. Great dude. Fucking love that guy, man. He's drummed for Rose Tattoo. He's drummed for Crowded House. I've known him for a million years. He used to drum for a Brisbane band called Rocket Train. Just a great dude, but just scheduling and stuff, and like he's on the Gold Coast and he works a lot, and he was going away on holiday a lot, just like life getting in the way type shit. I'd still love to work with Dommy on something else further down the track, but like yeah, our schedules just wouldn't line up. And I had pretty much all but given up hope on doing anything with Ryan, just because we couldn't find a drummer, man. Like, and it just was not happening for us.
Age-old tale, right?
You know how it goes, man. You know how it goes, right? Mm-hmm. Drummers, man, they're like a fucking exotic bird. You have to be like awake. You have to be sitting in a certain tree at a certain height at a certain time of day with a certain type of binocular to fucking find one.
Have you seen that meme? The one with Vince McMahon?
No.
It's got you know how you get the meme where Vince McMahon's going through the stages of the orgasm thing, and it goes,
yes.
A drummer that only plays in 2 bands. A drummer that only plays in 2 bands and has a car. A drummer that only plays in 2 bands, has a car, and isn't an absolute fucking mess. And it just sort of goes through those stages.
I saw a meme today. It was a guy talking to a biblically accurate angel, and the angel was like, "Do not fear me." And the guy was just like, so you play drums?
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
About like a month ago or so, Ryan messaged me and he's like, "Man, what's happening? We're gonna do this band." And I was like, we have songs. We already have songs. I've never met you. I don't know what you look like at this point, but like we have songs. All right. And I messaged him back. I was like, "Leave it with me, man. I got 2 dudes on Facebook that look like they fuck with 80s metal. and could do a bitchin' job on the drums, man. And one of those guys was Denny Shark, man.
Oh, KTO.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I don't.
my-
Yeah, Danny.
That's my boy, bro. That's my boy.
Hey, he's legit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's,
And he is. I love that motherfucker so much. I messaged Danny, man, and I was like, "Hey, dude, you play drums?" And I just to. So when I'm trying to like put together a hair metal band, I send people songs that I've recorded in the previously, so they know I don't suck. You know what I mean? So they're like,
okay, so let's just establish this straight away. You guys are a hair metal band.
We're like a party metal band.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Like
Okay.
It's more like, okay, so it's like Judas Priest, Dokken. There's a little bit of like Soundgarden and like Led Zeppelin.
Hey, okay, I'm vibing.
But yeah, we're like a party metal band, man. Like, and you know, I'm with PULGIZARI, man. I've done my deep shit. Like, I had a band like a few years ago with like White Devil Detroit, and I tried to turn hair metal. I tried to take hair metal to exciting and new places, and like make it like deep and artistic, and add a bit of flavor from like deep occultism and hip hop and drag queens and wrestling. And I was taking hair metal to new heights. No, not this time. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are just a fun fucking metal band. PULGIZARI is just a fun fucking metal band. We're not every cliche you can think of. That's us.
Yeah, nice.
Like in the same vein
I
as like
like
a
shit.
Steel Panther type kind of thing, just like having fun, not to like ape their shit specifically, but you know, having fun and just doing whatever.
Sorta. Like there will be like just because naturally, I do make things sort of a comedy show. Like when you come and see me play, like the thing is like I've played in bands. I've had comedians open for me. I've opened for Jake the Snake Roberts. I've played on the same bill as Tony Storm from AEW. Mm-hmm. I have fucking had Art Simone from RuPaul's Drag Race open for me. Because I'm just a fucking all over the shop. I'm one of those. I'm gonna talk my shit right now. I'm gonna go on a little Kanye. I'm gonna go on a little Kanye.
Go.
Please do.
I'm on my
Let people
Kanye
know
West
what's
shit
up.
right now. Let's go. So, I'm one of those fucking performers that transcend genre or types of art, man. Like, yeah, we're a party metal band, but the whole reason why I can play with a drag queen or play with a wrestler or play with a stand-up comedian is because there's parts of all of those things in me as a motherfucking performer. Mm-hmm. I got the crazy outfits. I cut my fucking head open with a razor blade. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I've cut my head open with a razor blade a few times on stage. Like,
Jeez.
I've worn fucking some of the most gnarly shit you've ever seen, like gold leotards and shit. You know what I mean? I'm a better entertainer than I am a singer or a lyricist. You know what I mean?
For real?
That's something that's something I never had to work on. I was a fucking born frontman. When I was 16 years old, I played my first show. I've never had stage fright.
Oh, okay.
I've never had stage fright in my whole entire fucking life. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. If you put a microphone in my hand and I'm in front of an audience, I'm in charge.
Okay.
I'm lead singer of everything, frontman of planet Earth.
Whoa! So your whole deal is just trying to transcend, trying to push the art as far as you can possibly take it,
Right.
with what you have within your means, I guess.
Exactly, man. Like and that's why, like, when I went solo, like, no, man, it's a different type of thing. I was raised on Twisted Sister, dude. Like, everything I learnt about being a frontman is from Dee Schneider. There is no better frontman in the world. Yes, there are better singers. Yes, there are better, like, people that move better. But when it comes to speaking to the audience and making the audience do what you want and having the audience in the palm of your hand, Dee Schneider wrote the book on that shit.
Well, yeah, 100%. He did, so much so that when he got brought to Congress for his thing, he rolled out a bit of paper like a naughty little kid, rolled out his sheet of paper and absolutely schooled the US government on.
That's right, man.
It was some deep shit. Like he is not one to be trifled with. I just seen podcasts with him recently, and he don't even fuck with drugs or alcohol. He just drink coffee. Like he just,
Man.
he's just there.
Yeah.
He's just there. I don't know how true that is, but
Oh, it is true. Okay, so G. Schneider got drunk when he was 4. So I'm a massive Twisted Sister fan. And D. Schneider got drunk when he was 14 years old, and he like passed out on the floor, and he was all like fucked up, and he was like, "God, if you get me through this, I will never drink again." And he never drank again until he was like in his 50s, and he would have one red glass of wine with dinner because of the antioxidants, and his doctor told him he should.
huh.
His whole family go on ayahuasca trips to get deeper connections with themselves. D is like, nope, I'm good. I'm happy with having the rock star ego. I feel like ayahuasca might like make me think about that. I don't want that taken away from me. And I
fair enough.
valid, right?
Yeah,
So valid.
You can't really fuck
Valid.
with him. He is.
Yeah,
He's a great frontman. Like.
I love D. D. Schneider shared my music video on Twitter, and that was the greatest. I don't care if I ever sell like 1 million albums, right? I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. Like anybody can say, "Oh, you suck, man. You're a shit singer. Your band sucks." D. Schneider, the god of everything, in my opinion, shared my music on Twitter, man.
He gave me validation. The Lord gave me validation.
That's like a yogi meditating up in the mountains for 40 years and then finally hitting Nirvana.
Finally
meeting
getting
God.
peace. Jeez.
Like there's nothing. I'm bulletproof now. It's like, yeah, okay, you don't like my music. Well, D. Schneider does, so fuck you.
What is your
Like, I
opinion
don't
about
care.
it? You are but
Your
mere
opinion-
mortals.
Your opinion is invalid. I don't care.
We're going to
Like,
use this
that's-
as a nice little segue. You were saying before that you actually wanted to hop into the podcasting realm and do a podcast about Twisted Sister. Go into that a bit. Like we're
Right.
obviously you're a big fan, and
Yes. So I'm such an obsessive Twisted Sister fanboy that I know they're roadies. Like I'm like, you know, you got those fangirls that are obsessed with like One Direction and they know who their tour manager is and who their roadies are. I'm like on a first name basis with D's agent. I know who their roadies are.
oh
Like,
wow,
I'm really into Twisted Sister. I'll say it, I'm probably like the biggest Twisted Sister fan in the fucking world. I'm trying to find somebody else.
Dear D, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left myself on my page at my home.
Bro, I even got the fucking like
The
Slim
bleach.
Shady hair, bro.
Stan hair, man. You're
Dan. But I've actually communicated with all of the guys in Twisted Sister. Like it's funny you say that, man. JJ, the film clip that D shared on Twitter, JJ teared apart in an email and critiqued like a motherfucker. And I love that though, because that's their personalities, man. Anything that JJ doesn't like, D probably will like. You know what I mean? And that was like just validation on like how much I know about these guys. And they're, I'm an obsessive fan. Anyways, I'm going to start a podcast next year called "What Do You Want to Do with Your Mic?"
hey,
A twisted podcast, and we're
Nice.
going in deep, man. We're going in deep. Like, if you love Twisted Sister, you'll love this podcast. It's going into like album reviews. We're going to interview band members. We're going to interview their roadies. We're going to interview some of their kids. We're going to interview some of the actors who are in their music videos, which I've already done already. I interviewed the kid from the "We're Not Gonna Take It" video.
no shit.
Yeah, I interviewed the fuck, man, I can't even remember the dude's name. It's been so long.
Dude.
No disrespect, but we had a whole interview on my blog, man. I've interviewed the kid from the "We're Not Gonna Take It" video. It's a while ago, but
That's legit.
we're gonna bring him back, man. We'll get him on the podcast, and we're gonna do like, you know, a tribute episode to AJ Pero, their drummer that passed away. I think it was back in 2016. And it's a Twisted Sister podcast by Twisted Sister fans for Twisted Sister fans, and I'm looking for a co-host. I need someone that's as into Twisted Sister as I am, and can also confidently talk on a mic and conduct themselves in a entertaining sort of way.
Well, you know what? We'll put the call out for you now. You can cut the video and you can share it out and do all that cool stuff. And, yeah,
We got,
we'll find you.
We got your boy Ryan in the chat. That's my fucking singer.
Hell yeah, Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
What
That's
is
my fuck.
what is
That's
up,
my fucking
Ryan?
guitar player.
What is up, the guitarist? Man, I
So
can't.
let's get back to PULGIZARI. So you were saying there's a bit of a meaning behind the name that you wanted to talk about. What's
Right.
what's the deal with that? Like what's the deal with PULGIZARI? No.
That was cheesy as fuck, dude.
No, I love a Seinfeld reference, man. I've watched every episode of Seinfeld a million times. My Instagram handle is Goth Jerry Seinfeld. So
that went that for me. That went. I didn't watch enough Seinfeld.
So what's the deal with never being able to find a drummer for your band?
Yeah, yeah, that's so
Classic.
true.
It's a throwback.
But the PULGIZARI names. So you know Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, the North Korean dictator's father.
Yeah.
This is not where I expected this story to start.
I can't wait. I'm just like,
But
where's
I'm
the
very curious as
popcorn?
to where it's going now. This is like,
Right.
Give me that
So
popcorn.
Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il's father, the dictator for North Korea, when he was in charge, he kidnapped a movie director's wife and took her to North Korea and held her hostage. The director, I can't remember the director's name. For future interviews, I'll probably memorize this, but for now, it's very hazy. But anyways, point being, Kim Jong-un kidnapped this guy's wife. The guy went looking for him. The guy gets kidnapped as well. And Kim Jong-un forces this dude to make a fucking Godzilla movie at gunpoint. Yeah. Alright, you're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about?
yeah,
You are-
Shin Sang-ok was the director.
Shin
South
Sang-ok.
Korean film director.
So you are sitting here telling me it was far out. Where the fuck did you find this out?
So one of my favorite YouTube channels is a YouTube channel called This Exists.
Okay.
My thing is I love random facts and seeing how weird things in pop culture and counterculture interconnect. That's like my specialty interest. Like I hyper focus on that shit, and I'll talk your ear off about it all day. But yeah, so Kim Jong-un kidnapped this guy, forced him to make a Godzilla movie at gunpoint. The movie was called PULGIZARI. It's spelled it's spelled different to our fucking name. That's the point.
Oh wow.
I can't remember how it's spelled. But so and it was a Godzilla movie because Kim Jong-un was such a big fan of Godzilla movies and he wanted some propaganda movies and stuff for North Korea. So yeah, he forced this dude to make this movie at gunpoint. And PULGIZARI, that's what the movie was called, and it's just sort of like a Godzilla knockoff. But PULGIZARI is also a mythological creature in North Korean mythology.
Oh.
Right. And the thing about, and it's sometimes spelt with a B, PULGIZARI.
Okay.
It's there's different spellings for things as the years go on. So there's P's, B's.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
when it gets westernized and anglicized, it gets changed and
that
fuck
too,
everything up.
that too, right? so PULGIZARI. The thing about this mythological creature, that no matter how it appears, whether it appears as like a Godzilla thing or a goat, it takes different forms or whatever. I like the Godzilla thing because it relates to the movie with the gunpoint and the dictatorship. I think that's fucking metal. Anyway, speaking of metal, PULGIZARI, the mythological creature, the thing about it is it's like power is that the more metal it eats, the bigger it gets.
Oh.
So it eats metal and it fucking expands, man. It's like,
wow.
Okay. So I was aware of that, and I always thought that would be like a great name for even a rapper, PULGIZARI, or a great name for anything, man.
It's like some
it's just
anime
a fucking.
shit.
Alright, and I always thought that was cool.
Love
But
some
then
anime.
also we started this band, and I was thinking about PULGIZARI, and then on the same day I was thinking about PULGIZARI. So The Gazaris was a club on the Sunset Strip where Van Halen, Rat, Motley Crue, Dokken, all of these bands got their start and played like their first shows at Gazaris. And the owner of that club was called Bill Gazzari.
I've heard of that name before. I don't know why I've heard that name before.
So, it's a portmanteau of PULGIZARI and Bill Gazzari. PULGIZARI, because it's a fucking mythological creature that eats metal and expands, and it's also named after the club where Van Halen and Rat and Motley Crue started, and that's the bands that we're influenced by and that we take our influence from. So it's a portmanteau.
That is the most thought out name for a band I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. That is. I'm
a conceptual bastard.
That is
crazy. It's a metal club where all the hair metal bands started, and it's also a mythological creature that eats metal and gets bigger.
That's super cool, man. I really, really dig that. There's a lot. When you went to North Korea, I was like, not where I thought that was going at all. That's awesome.
There was definitely some thought put into it.
I really want to see this movie now. I don't know why.
I still haven't seen it.
I assume, since it's a propaganda movie, that at some point Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il, whichever one kidnapped the director, but Kim Jong-un is depicted into taking out the Godzilla-like creature. That's what I would imagine happening.
Something interesting. Like that, yeah.
If it's like a propaganda movie.
I think it's more metaphorical than that, from what I've read about. Because I've watched a few YouTube docos on it. I don't know if that's quite right. I think it's more of a metaphorical thing.
That's my assumption. He gets the Korean scientists inject him with something. He becomes heaps big and just goes whack 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 whack.
You know what? I think there's a
that's
film
what I heard
guy
anyway.
that I watch on YouTube. There's a film guy that I watch on YouTube who might have done an episode about that movie about PULGIZARI.
What film guy?
Movie Bob.
Movie Bob. Okay.
Movie Bob. Every year in October he does what he calls Schlocktober, which is he picks like really obscure and weird horror films or monster films from like that have really interesting stories behind them, and he talks about them. And I'm
that fits the criteria.
I'm sure I've seen him talk about this one at some point.
I'll find it.
Right.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to look that up and see what I can find.
Get heaps wasted and watch it.
That's amazing. That's a really, really cool story, man. And I definitely want to find that film.
So okay, so let's touch into So PULGIZARI, we've established that fucking wild ass name. What are we expecting coming up in the next maybe like 6 to 8 months or whatever? And
there we go. Yep, I found it. He's got an episode on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
That's crazy.
So what are we expecting in the next 6 to 8 months, man? Like, me and Danny and Ryan are riding our asses off, man. We are just coming up with some just like banging rock tunes. And like I said, man, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. There's no like crossover. No, we are like we do what it says on the tin, right?
Y'all said
PULGIZARI, where we need a bass player. We just generally need a bass player. So we're putting out a call for bass players that fucking love hair metal.
I don't know if I can step up for playing bass like permanently, but if you want to get bass tracked, just let me know. We'll sort something.
All right. Let's talk about that because we are going. Later. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that off air. We are going into the studio though, January 6th. We're going into the studio. We're going to record. I can't remember what are we doing? 4 tracks. We're doing 4 tracks.
EP,
right?
Nice. Solid.
No.
I'm calling an EP. Okay.
I am fucking sick of EPs, man. Me and Danny. We were talking about this, man. We're like, we've recorded so many fucking EPs in our career that we're just like, fuck it, EP, man. It's either going to be we're going to do singles and videos, And I'm gonna be directing the music videos because that's just
He
like,
knows what the fuck's up.
I do not have fucking EP, man. I'll take a shit on a fucking EP. It's all singles and albums, man. Like, so we're gonna drop singles and videos, man, because we're living in the days of like, it's like going back to like the 50s, man. It's all about singles, man. But there's still love for an album. If you can put together a cohesive fucking album that's like bang, 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 all killer, no filler. People love that shit.
Are you sure you haven't? Are you sure you haven't watched a shitload of our podcast?
No. Oh, I swear I haven't. No. Why are you guys anti-EP?
Not so much anti-EP. I feel like they've got their place, but
Yeah.
we've talked like, a lot about the changes in the industry and how it's very single-based these days because you need to constantly have something new coming out for the algorithm. And that spending 2 years away working on an album and then not releasing anything in that time does a lot of damage to your thing, but it's just how a lot of people like to work still.
I like it when people go and fucking do an album. Okay, we're doing an album. This is going to be the album. But while we're doing that, we can also record this song. We can do a Christmas song. Let's do a children's album. And like they got you know what I mean? Like they got a few other projects.
That comes down to timing and recording space, really. Like at the end of the day.
And shit.
But one thing I do appreciate, obviously, seeing you guys so much before I heard you on the socials and stuff like that, being so active, is that I've said it so many times. I'll say it again. Waterfall releases, man, it's the way to go. The more videos you can bring out, it's the way to go. There's no excuses not to bring videos out. You got your phone. It's just the way it is, man. Like, at the end of the day, your music only goes for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, man. Like, that's it. And that's about all I'm good for with Mrs. Beer Buddy. And, like, unless I'm coming in strong, you know what I mean? Like, you got to remain active in the rest of it. You got to build a relationship with your fans. And that's what it is now. The music only gets you so far.
That's what community's all about, man. That's something I really didn't spend time building in my solo career, and that's why I kind of just was like, man, fuck this. Like after my previous band broke up, I started experimenting more with my sound. I moved away from your traditional like rock and roll and metal, which is what people had expected of me, and that's the fan base I built. Like I had a fucking solid fan base and community of rockers who were ready to like do whatever the fuck I needed them to. And then I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go make trap metal and start rapping over beats and screaming on them. And it alienated my entire fan. It alienated the whole like thing that I'd been building for my entire life from when I was 14. It alienated nearly all of them. There were some people that have stuck with me from like all of that through every sound I've gone through, right? There are some people that are just fans of me, but there are some people that were fans of me doing that specific sound. That's what the fucking people want, man. People don't come and see me play to hear me like rap about my mummy issues. They come and see me play so I can scream notes that only dogs can hear about cocaine and big titties. That's what they want.
Rock and roll, baby. Rock and roll.
And that's what they want.
Well, look, man, at the end of the day, the shit still sells. People are still riding the Colombian snowfields, and, mate, people still love rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. They do, man. Like, rock and roll is fun, man. And you know what? I come to realize, man.
And, I mean, Danny Sharks is just the fucking, like, the epitome of a fucking rock star as well. I mean, you look at the guy, he just oozes charisma of rock star.
He's funny, man.
And I swear to God, he's got like he's got a bottle of Jack Daniels taped to his hand, and he's just one of the most solid drummers I've ever fucking seen. He's so good.
He's a god, cunt. He's a god. He's a prodigy, man. Yeah, that's what I realized, man. I was like, I went off and did this other thing, and it didn't feel right. Like I was forcing myself into something. Some of those songs sounded good. I think, like, I don't know if the people could see what my fucking Discord name is, but it says C's on. So that was my solo shit. And I did alright, man. Like I ended up recording with Slothy, who's the producer for The Weight of Silence and like 360, Wombat. You know, people that listen to Aussie hip hop will know these
I know
names.
360.
Yeah, I mean, like if you don't know 360, like
Aaron, I know who 360 is.
turn that rock over.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so that's like I did all right in that sort of scene, but like man, people don't want that shit. And like going back to singles over EPs and stuff, we are in a fucking exciting time for the music industry. We kind of have the power back to the little man.
Okay.
And the reason why that is...
This be good.
This is gonna be controversial. TikTok.
Oh, here we go.
TikTok. So, back in the 1950s and 1960s, there was a thing called scopy tones. I'm reading this off Wikipedia right now because I totally forgot how to describe these things. So scopy tone is a type of jukebox featuring a 16mm film component. Scopy tone films were a forerunner of music videos. The 1959 Italian Cinebox, Colorama, and Colosonics were competing lesser-known technologies of the time 1 year before the scopy tone in France. So basically, scopy tones were like a jukebox that you could go up to, and it would play like a little music video thing that you could only see on that thing. That was the TikTok. That was TikTok before TikTok, and that's when singles were popular. So we are back to fucking singles, and we are back to scopy tones. But instead of a vinyl record and a fucking weird ass jukebox in Italy and France that you can only see a little fucking 16mm video on, we're on the internet. TikTok is the new scopy tones. If you haven't heard of scopy tones, I'm not surprised because no one fucking has.
Actually, does anyone remember? I think they actually had one of these in The Simpsons.
Scopy tone in The Simpsons.
Yeah, man, and I'm pretty sure I don't know if you might be able to pull a picture up, but tell me if I'm wrong here. It wasn't a TV or anything like that. You actually had to seed your eyes into a little looking hole, and you had a arm on the side of it, and you had to crank it.
No,
is that it?
No, that's dude. That was like a toy I had when I was a kid, man.
No. But they had big versions of it where you could actually do it and watch film, like.
Yeah, but
right. No.
I get what you're talking about, but I think it's something
different thing. This is like literally like a jukebox. You go up and press the thing, and this is like scopy tones are a whole other thing. The only reason I've heard of them is because I watched a 4-hour documentary about the industrial musician Boyd Rice. Bit of a controversial figure, but he mentioned them in this documentary. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I went and researched scopy tones, and I was like, oh, this is TikTok. This is just fucking TikTok for people in the 1950s and 60s.
Wow.
So that's what we're back to. We're back to singles. Singles are exciting. Have something that people can use in a TikTok video. Have a lyric. Have a lick.
You are literally the opposite of everything that we've had on this podcast for fuck knows how long.
No, that's
you're speaking real shit because you got to play the game now. It's either play the game or get left behind.
Yeah, we are like PULGIZARI. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but are we trying to be rock stars? Yeah, dude, that's all I fucking ever wanted in my life. Are we going to be rock stars by releasing EPs and just fucking touring? No, cunt. No fucking you dumb motherfucker. Ah! People in the No, you don't even have to pay your dues anymore. You don't even have to pay. You could not do a tour. You could not play a single show and become a rock star.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, not quite in music, but look at what happened to Matt Rife in comedy. Like, he was grinding away, hustling away. A year ago, he was struggling to get $300 for a show. And then through a number of, through a whole lot of good fortune and luck, and yes, being talented at certain parts of the job.
And one hell of a lot of good bit of cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know
he's also Adonis. He's also Adonis. He's also Adonis.
I saw it. I saw it today. I saw old photos of him, and I saw new photos of him. Look,
He got veneers.
The guy,
he got his
the
teeth
guy,
fixed. He
the
got his
guy
teeth-
got his jaw done. The guy got his
I
nose
mean,
done.
look,
He's
yeah,
a handsome.
I'm not gonna get into what he's had done or hasn't had.
I don't
done
care.
or allegedly
Do what
or
you
any of
want.
that
He's a
stuff.
fucking funny
I'm not
motherfucker.
talking, but I'm just saying, like, this is a guy who, in the space of literally a year, has gone from being, you know, you might know him if you were going to small comedy clubs in the US, and you happen to be there at the right time and to see him. A year later, he's one of the hottest names in stand-up comedy.
Oh, okay. I got to say,
And-
he was on TV before this. He was on Wild and Out, Nick Cannon's show, where they freestyle rap at each other. So he had a little bit of success.
Okay.
Fair enough. But it's just crazy that like, so you're right though, like, and TikTok is the platform that kind of opened the door for that to happen for him. Like, he was.
I don't
that's
think
where he
people
blew up.
realize. I don't think people realize how easy it is to go viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
They don't. No, it is. I did it. I uploaded. I barely even fucking checked TikTok or used it, and I uploaded a video a couple of years ago, and it's got like 2 million views on it. And it fucking. I remember opening TikTok like 4 days later, thinking I was just gonna like check TikTok. No one watches my shit. My phone blew up. I thought I was hacked.
Oh wow.
It was insane. It's just a video. So with the video in question is like, I was driving down the street with my friend, and we saw this ute that was covered in AstroTurf, and we went past it, and I was like, "Oi, turn around! I want to get a video." Didn't think anything of this, and there was a bunch of normal cars parked and spaces of grass between the normal cars leading up to the AstroTurf ute, and I started filming. I was like, "Normal car, bit of grass." Normal car, bit of grass, a fucking car made out of grass. Ha 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 ha. That was the whole video. And I uploaded that. And all I said was like, only in Australia. Uploaded it, didn't think anything of it. Went on to TikTok 2 days later. And all of a sudden, I'm viral. It's actually, if I can do it, if it fucking... I stumbled into virality, anyone could do it. I'm sorry, there's no excuse for not going viral on TikTok.
Man, fair enough. I mean, look, you know, yeah, it's just the way of the world at the moment. You just got to
Like,
create a
as with
great
all-
fucking 30, 40 seconds.
As with all things, when it comes to music, it's like you use the tools that are at your disposal to, you know, you're smart about how you use them, and look, it takes a lot of work to know the right ways to use it consistently and get results consistently, which I think is where a lot of people are like, well, okay, a lot of musicians are like, I don't want to be a content creator on social media. I want to make music and do music.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, people that, and look, I'm one of those people. Like, I do music because I make music because I want to make music, and I want to do that stuff. And it's not out of, you know, because it's the right way to do it or anything. I'm just, you know what, I don't have the fucking time or energy to put in to run social media campaigns the way they need to be run to get the kind of results that a lot of these people
At
are
the same
getting.
time, I want to give you some credit right now. I'm going to give you some credit, Daniel, because at the same time, that's just not a thing that you want to put effort into. You do stuff outside of music. The fact that we're talking on a fucking podcast co-hosted by you right now says that.
That's
so
true.
you're not just a musician that just wants to make music. You love other shit too.
Yeah,
It's just not TikTok. It's just not.
Here's the
It's just
thing.
not content in that way.
But here's the thing, though, right? Like, Kyle and I do this podcast to talk to musicians about music because it's what we're passionate about. We don't do the podcast to, you know, to get famous or to try and go viral or to do any of this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we were, then this whole thing would look very different.
Oh yeah, man! Like there'd be shorts out. There'd be fucking.
We would have a very different approach.
We'd be pumping shorts. There'd be
like,
little 10-minute snippets every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like we'd
and
be
we would
cutting.
Yeah, we'd
hours.
be taking the controversial things that some of our, you know, more famous guests might have said,
Which we have
and
got.
clipping them and sending them off to the fucking outlets to be like, oh, this fucking guy said he doesn't like Rage Against the Machine and he thinks they're posers.
Blabbermouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Blabbermouth.
Because like
Loudwire, clickbait. Let's go.
Because look, and it's, you know what I mean. Like, we could do that, but like we're not doing it. Like we don't want to throw that. You know, we don't want to do that to, you
Our integrity.
highlight it and throw that. Like, yes, it's in the video, but it's in this long video, and you only see it if you watch the long video.
And context is everything. Whoa, context is everything.
Context. We're not going to like clip that fucking 20-second rant that he has, send it to Loudwire and Blabbermouth and Metal Hammer and all these publications, and be like, "Oh, he said this," and then fucking his shit gets blown up. Then he fucking hates us and never wants to talk to us again. It's causing drama over something that isn't like what it does. That isn't what's being represented. And you know what I mean? Like we could do that, but we're not doing it because we're not trying to be out here like doing it to get fed. Like we're literally doing this because we want to talk to our friends and bands that we are interested in, and talk to interesting people about music, and share that passion with other people who are interested in music, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
but quite clearly, you can see that you're sick of the game. You're sick of the old game.
Oh, me?
In that sense, and look, nothing but respect to that, because I think the game's changing, man. The ability, and I've said it fucking so many times, the ability for bands to write solid fucking albums, it's gone. You all can write great fucking singles and you can pump them out like it's fucking wildfire. Why a lot of bands can't manage to sit there and do that in a solid space, I don't know. But regardless, the game is now, like you said, if you want to get famous quick, it's hitting that TikTok, writing that 30 seconds, getting yourself in the socials, spending a lot of time on your socials, not wasting your time with EPs. Realistically, if you can sit there and write an album, don't release an album. Like, I have a look at guys, and this fucking pisses me off. This is going to be my little rant. This pisses me off so much. So I got a couple of homies from Sydney, right? The guys from Weightless, absolutely terrorizing the scene at the moment. They're fucking unbelievable. Great bunch of dudes.
Sorry,
really nice
while you're doing
guys.
that, I'll be back in a sec.
Go for it. I'm going to go on my rant. Great bunch of kids, man. What pissed me off? One of their tracks has hit 100,000 streams.
Right.
Bro,
Okay.
100,000 streams for a...
Right.
Could you imagine if you just translated that into single sales?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you just translated that into... If they just did not fucking release it and then they just sold EPs? Like... I have this weird thing. If you're gonna take the time to release an EP or an album, do not put it on Spotify straight away. Get your fucking CDs. Get word of mouth out there. Oh, can I listen to your music? Okay. You guys are really good. Can I listen to your music? No, buy the CD. I would rather take 10,000. 5,000. I'll take 5,000 EP sales over 5,000 fucking streams off Spotify any day of the week.
Sorry, that reminds me.
Don't do that for... Yeah, sorry, go.
Oh, no, you're... No, I like... Because it's a good idea, man. So there's a rapper called Kasky.
Okay.
And every now and then, he'll do a $100 mixtape. This mixtape will not be released on any streaming platforms. It is purely music that will not be released on iTunes ever. It's not like, oh, I'll release it and then drop it later on Spotify. It's like, no, this is just for the fans. It's a $100 EP. Kanye West did a similar thing with his little fucking, oh god, what was that little fucking mixing box?
Oh yeah, that little fucking thing where you could isolate all the sounds and shit like that. You could take out the vocals. I remember that coming out. I can't remember what it was called. It was the producer, the home producer or some shit. You could take any like track and...
Exactly, crazy. You could turn the drums up, you could turn the vocals down, whatever you wanted, sort of mix the track yourself. That album was never released on any streaming platform. So, and I like it when little fucking local punk bands, crust punk bands that have like 50 fans, only put their release out on a shitty little cassette and they only make 50 copies. Exclusivity is a cool thing, man. I don't think you should do every release like that, but I think special things for fans... I fucks with that.
Yeah,
I fucks with that.
And look, and it annoys the shit out of me that you watch these bands work so fucking hard, and they hit those stream numbers, but they working still. Like if they could you imagine if they sold 100,000 EPs for $5 a piece?
I know.
Like,
I know.
it just
If Spotify actually paid artists what they were,
mate, even $1, give them a fucking dollar a stream.
$1 a stream would change my life. Like, even me personally would change my life. I would be in a financial position to look after my grandparents the way that I want to. I would have the car that I want. Like,
yeah.
And that's the thing,
like,
when you can go on that grind, and if you know you got the product and you don't want to put it down, look, and you're going the right way about it. If you're going to do the Spotify game and you're going to do the social media shit game, you do not fucking release a whole EP in one go. You fucking drop something once a week, once a fortnight. You keep yourself in that algorithm. You're the
right.
It's I hate it.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Like we've talked a couple of times, more than a couple of times I think on the podcast before about our opinions on Spotify and the devalue, how the streaming platforms are essentially leading to this trend of the devaluation of music in the mind of the consumer, where why would anyone like increased cost of living is just across the board, late stage capitalism, all that bullshit, but in that scenario, why would anyone take $20 and go and buy a single album that's got maybe 15 songs on it if you're lucky, when they could take that $15 and pay Spotify, and then they've got unlimited. And if you're doing that, if you've got $20 to spend on music every month, and you're buying CDs, are you going to buy 12 CDs for the year and have only that 12 CDs to listen to? Or are you going to spend that on Spotify or YouTube Music or Amazon Music or whatever and get literally every song ever known to man?
And new releases, and it constantly gets updated.
And even putting that aside, the fact that there's free options for these services means that the per song dollar value in the mind of the consumer has been eroded. And we're not talking like music, like people that are hardcore music fans that like to still support the artists by buying all the extra shit. We're talking just the average consumer, the average person. Which, let's be real, is where most of the money is. Taylor Swift didn't get fucking didn't become a billionaire by her music being popular to hardcore music lovers. Taylor Swift got to be a billionaire by her music becoming popular in the general fucking consumer. The music, though, in the mind of the general consumer in the days of Spotify and other streaming platforms, a song is literally worth nothing. Mm-hmm. They pay nothing to listen to it. Or if they pay $20 a month to listen to all the music in the world, it is worth a fraction of a cent per song.
And your time's not worth that. Your time is worth so much more. And
there's unfortunately, the genie's out the bottle, and there is no going back from that.
And
unless these platforms were to all shut down simultaneously and nothing was to take their place, there is no going back from that.
Yeah, like Neil Young. I love Neil Young. He's a fucking powerhouse, one of the greatest songwriters of all time. But he's also a fucking pussy, man. Like, he pulled his music off of Spotify because, Joe Rogan was spouting some anti-vax or whatever the fuck. I don't care. We're not getting political right now, but Neil Young pulled his music off of fucking Spotify because of something Joe Rogan said. Hey, Neil Young, why don't you fucking pull your music off of Spotify because they're fucking undercutting all of us? Why was it because Joe Rogan said some dumb shit? Why wasn't it because Spotify is that Daniel Elk? What's his name? Is that the CEO of Spotify? Man, I'd love to get my fucking hands on that.
Oh man, so would a lot of people.
Yeah, Daniel Elk. Yeah.
What annoys me even more is the fact that the publishing thing. Like, we come on here on YouTube, yeah? Everything's free. As long as and the worst part about it is all the record companies own the publishing companies. It's like they've circumnavigated the fucking whole thing. It's like, people can just release their music whenever they want now. How are we going to get in on this? It's like... And I'm going to read that. What's up, Dylan? How you going, dude? How many thumbs would a would come if a would come could come thumbs? I think what that's meant to say is how many thumbs would a wood come thumb if a would come could come thumbs?
42.
I feel like coming thumbs would be excruciatingly painful. Like imagine orgasming and then pushing one of these out of your urethra.
Yeah, no.
So,
I mean, some people would
I'm-
be into it.
Yeah.
It'd be. Oh,
Cock and ball
that
torture.
took a
I don't
turn.
know.
That took a turn. All right, look, let's go on to something else. Let's get on to something better. Let's go to our first segment.
Ooh,
Let's go to our
segment
first
time.
segment. So, Kyle, if you're ready, could you please cue up the thing?
Yep, let me just cue it up.
He's gonna cue it up,
We're queued.
but I've gone too early. There.
And we have got the
that you had you
Quick
could
question
you do,
quarter.
you want you could do so you
back.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the quick question quarter, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that.
No way.
And this is basically where we ask our very esteemed guest a bunch of rapid fire questions. So we can get to understand old Jake a little bit better here. So, Jake, my friend, what was the first instrument that you ever learned to play? And vocals are included in this.
Yeah, okay, so the first time I ever wrote a song was when I was 8 years old, and it was a rap. So 8 years old, I wanted to be Eminem, and then at 12 years old, I sang, which will come as no surprise to anybody who knows my voice and knows my music. I sang the first verse and chorus of Welcome to the Jungle in front of my Year 7 class at Red Faces. So it was always singing, it was always writing, it was always lyrics. I always just wanted to rap, I wanted to sing, I wanted to scream. When I was 12 years old, my best friend, my childhood best friend Cruz, who I'm still very good friends with today, he might even be watching, his mum might be watching if she is. Hey Julie. He got a guitar for Christmas when we were 12 years old, and he's like, I don't even think that motherfucker could play Smoke on the Water or a G chord yet, but he's like, we're going to start a band and you're going to be the singer, because he knew I was already sort of a little bit interested in that. And that changed the whole trajectory of my life. And from that 12-year-old little boy whose best friend got a guitar and said, we're starting a band, you're going to be the singer, that completely went to my head. And here we are. I'm 30 years old and I'm still the fucking singer.
Yeah,
Love it.
Love it, every
All right.
bit of it.
What was the first album that you purchased?
Fuck. Okay, this is embarrassing.
Never be. Hey, no. Never
It made
be
you who you
embarrassed.
are. It made
Yeah,
you who
these
you
are the
are.
stepping stones.
No, okay. You know what? This is one of the greatest albums of all fucking time. Fuck you if you disagree. All right, everybody. Now here we go. It's a brand new version of the Do-Si-Do. Just stomp your feet and clap your hands. Come on, everybody. It's a hamster dance.
Okay,
Hamster dance album.
that's a first.
That's a
Which
first.
was like
That's
Elvin.
a
It was like the
first.
Elvin and the Chipmunks for millennials. You know what I mean? They had
Yeah.
Elvin and the Chipmunks.
Hey, bit
Like,
do da
yeah,
did do 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 da did it do.
I recently-
Am I going to get copyright?
Dee da
strike?
da ba dee
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Ah.
Awesome.
Nikki,
y'all
I've
should do it.
recently-
Y'all should do a cover of that.
I still know all the lyrics, but
Do
yeah, I
it.
recently found out that Nicky Sixx's first album that he ever owned was Elvin and the Chipmunks. So I feel like owning like a hamster chipmunk squeaky album as your
That's-
first album is kind of like metal
not bad.
as fuck.
That's not bad. All right. What was the first live concert you attended?
Avril Lavigne, man. Avril Lavigne,
No
like,
shit.
yeah, man, at Brisbane Entertainment Centre when I was like 10 or 11. Man, I still remember walking in there and seeing like Christian protesters. You know, like you would see it like a Marilyn Manson or an Ozzy Osbourne concert or
Yeah.
something like back in the day. There were people fucking protesting Avril.
She's my hall pass.
For real?
Nice. But yeah, they were like protesters with pickets, and they had signs with Avril Lavigne.
Okay.
She had like little devil
Wait.
horns drawn on.
Sidetrack. If Avril Lavigne is your hall pass, who's Mrs. Beer Buddy's hall pass?
If I could ever Levine whoever she wants. I think it used to be John Cena. I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, I feel a little bit bad, but yeah. She won't be able to see him.
Nice. All right, sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you on that one, but that's just like I had to ask the question since it came up.
Valid.
So Avril Lavigne, wow, that's pretty cool. I don't think we've had anyone say Avril Lavigne before either.
Two firsts.
Okay, I I gotta keep my metal cred. My second concert was Megadeth and Slayer.
Oh,
Hey, dude, you are like, trust me. No one here is going to question your metal cred based on your first thing.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's not what we're about.
Look, at the end of the
ever.
day, look, anyone that look, you, unless you had sick parents like me, who literally took their kids to their first local metal show a couple of weeks ago. Their first show was a metal show. Like, we didn't have that. It wasn't a thing. It's not a generational thing. Metal has only become now a generational thing. So you're only going to get those cool parents now.
And look,
Strong
it's
disagree.
fun.
Strong disagree. So I gotta counter to that, because when I was a little boy, man, my parents were divorced. Not divorced. They were split. They never got married. They're fucking bogans. Bogans don't get married. They were separated, and my dad had custody of me every second weekend, man. And I remember jumping into his car, man, and there was always a Metallica cassette or an AC/DC cassette, or a Wasp cassette, or a Twisted Sister cassette. The whole reason I even know who Twisted Sister is because of my father. The whole reason I can fucking sing like Axl Rose and had that Appetite for Destruction CD as a little boy is because of my father. He showed me all of this music. I would not know anything about any of this sort of shit if it wasn't for my dad. Yeah, my dad introduced me to Twisted Sister. I remember when I was 4 years old, I can't remember coming over to his place and be like, Dad, I was getting into circuses that week for some reason. You know, you're a fucking 4-year-old. You see something on TV or a clown or something that's like, oh, what the fuck is this? And I was like, Dad, I want to do. Have you got any circus music? He's like, yeah, I got some circus music, and he put on Inside the Electric Circus album by Wasp.
Good circus music.
See, I'm the same though. Like my dad didn't like necessarily show me this stuff because he was kind of out of his metal phase.
This is what I'm talking
at the time.
about. It's like our parents were the children of the 70s and the 80s. It's only like now that they've sort of done it with us, we get to do it with our kids now.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like, and I mean, my dad had. See, for like a year, I was in the Australian Youth Choir, and we were carpooling with a family that lived nearby, and the dad was like the family we were carpooling with was an Indian family, and the dad would put on like, I think he had like some Deep Purple or something that was playing one time. I'm like, oh, what's this? Like, I'm really digging that, you know?
Yeah.
And I went home and asked my dad, I'm like, do you have anything by Deep Purple? He goes, no, but I got some other stuff that you might like. And he gave me, what was it? It was, like he had George Thorogood and Slade and Uriah Heep. And he had
very close, Sabbath, not quite Deep Purple,
Master of Reality by Black Sabbath.
Like, you guys are spoiled.
All that stuff, and I'm like, cool, all right. And because he was out of it by that point. Like he was more into his like blues and country by then, but he still had the vinyls, and so I was like, I can listen to him if I want to listen to him.
I had a similar thing, man. That's crazy, because I would come home from cruise, the kid with the guitar, it was like, we got a guitar, you got Billy Tan. I would come home from his place, and his dad had been showing him Kiss and Poison and Motley Crue, and I'd come home and be like, Dad, do you know Kiss? I really like Kiss. And he'd be like, here's Smash's fucking whatever the fuck their greatest hits was. And I'd be like, Dad, have you heard of Motley Crue? I love Motley Crue. He's like, here's my copy of Dr. Feelgood. Like, he just had this shit stored up in a cupboard somewhere. Well, I would come home and be like, Dad, have you heard of this band? He'd be like, here you go. He'd always have it on album, so I can relate. Sorry to interrupt, but I just...
that's all right.
You guys are lucky. I grew up on blues, Motown, and it wasn't until my mum met my stepdad, and then it was my stepdad used to sit there in the car, and he used to be like, okay, you guys want to listen to music? You have a choice. It's either Slayer, Rain in Blood, or Megadeth and Megadeth. Oh, sorry, no, it was Machine Head. It was Slayer and Machine Head. Those were your choices in my stepdad's car.
Machine Head goes back way further than anyone fucking...
I know.
They were like trash, and then they were new metal, and then they were... they've had like phases. I've seen, what's his name, Rob Flynn with the bleached up, spiked up hair.
And the cornrows and everything.
He's gone through everything. The guy's a homie.
Alright, getting back on track with this here. What is an instrument you've always wanted to learn?
harmonica, man. I would love to fucking just like bust out harmonica. Someone like, I got a friend named Daniel, man. He plays like really bluesy slide guitar. I would love to just jam and like not to do anything with it, man. I would never even want to play harmonica in front of an audience, but just to be able to shred at a jam night or get up at a jam night and just fucking like just fucking shred harmonica, man. That or saxophone would be cool.
Nice, nice. I don't think we've had anyone say harmonica before. Lots of firsts on today's one. You've got a harmonica somewhere?
Yeah.
You got one somewhere?
Should be sitting around here.
Nice. I think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. If you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, now this is like anyone, living or dead, active or not, whatever peak point in their career you want to choose. If you could pick anyone to open a show for, who would it be? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but...
It's not the answer you think. It's not Twisted Sister.
Okay.
No. It's either Guns N' Roses, the Rolling Stones, or AC/DC.
Whoa. Was not expecting that.
Yeah, no, it had especially the Rolling Stones. I mean, if you could open the Rolling Stones,
you're like you could probably beat Mick Jagger at a Mick Jagger lookalike contest at points. I think
Mick Jagger should have folded up his penis and went home the day I was born. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm really annoyed at that. Do you want a bit of useless Mick Jagger information?
Please.
Let's go. It's probably one of my specialty subjects, man. Like I played Rolling Stones Trivial Pursuit, so I'll be surprised if you could tell me something I don't know.
Did you know he played Ned Kelly in a movie back in like the fucking 60s or some shit?
That's an easy one. That's an easy one, man.
It was terrible. I saw it. I came home one day from work and I got a bit pickled. And I'm like, I was pretty fucking pickled. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, that's fucking Mick Jagger.
Yeah,
I've never seen this shit before. It was crazy.
And I think, yeah, man, like, that's a classic one, man.
I did
I've read a couple of Mick Jagger biographies. They're basically like my fucking Bibles or Qurans at this moment, at this point in time, yeah.
Jeez.
Awesome. Well, those are some good picks. Those are some really good picks there. All right, time to delve into your Spotify. Who is a band or artist that you're listening to at the moment that you believe is underrated and deserves more attention?
Catalano from the Gold Coast. Lead singer is Rox Catalano. Talk about 80s metal and just like great voice, great riffs, amazing songwriting, like one of the best guitar players I've ever seen, man.
Is that they got an album Night Fighter? Is that the one?
That's right, and they Dark Skies as well.
Cool.
Go listen to Catalano. They're a Queensland band. More people should listen to them. Man, go listen to Wildest Dreams or Go to Hell, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like Rox is one of the best songwriters out there right now that does like the 80s metal throwback thing. He's just
nice.
That's Catalano.
And he's a homie of mine too, man. He's a fucking good dude, man. Like he's cool. Great voice.
Love that. All right.
And so quick too. That's what I love too. Just like bang.
Yeah,
didn't even need to look at his phone.
This is the thing. This is a kindred spirits here. This is a guy that loves music as much as we do.
Yeah, it doesn't even need to fucking look. Love that shit.
What is something people may be surprised to learn about you?
Oh shit, man! Here's a fun fact. So, like, have you ever watched a documentary about a murderer while the murderer that the documentary was about was in the next room?
No, I don't know.
I have.
No, I really. No.
Okay, so that happened to me earlier this year, and it was one of the most.
Shit. Are you sure we should be talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So the guy's name is Andrew Fitzherbert. He was the third person on the whole entire planet Earth to be convicted from DNA. He's the first person in Australia to be convicted on DNA charges. There's a book out there about him called 5 Drops of Blood. There is contention about did he do it or didn't he? I think he was hypnotized. This is going to sound fucking nuts, man, but go look into it. And if you've met the guy, you'd understand. I think he was hypnotized and brainwashed into murdering this person.
Are you going
Anyways,
some MK Ultra shit?
Kind of, man. They were the Queensland Cat Society, and they were all into like
Jeez.
hypnotism and tarot cards. But yeah, he was the first person in Australia to be convicted on murder charges from DNA evidence.
Okay.
So my friend moved into an apartment building in Auchenflower earlier this year, and he lived in the apartment next door. I met him out in the garden. He's a sweet old man. I actually like shook hands with a possible murderer and thought he was a lovely person.
Everyone thought Ted Bundy was charismatic.
No, but like this guy he's just an old man. Like he's
Yeah.
hot. Like if he tried to do anything, I would just flick him and he would turn to
Oh,
dust.
okay.
Like, he's harmless. He's harmless as fuck. And he was before he was a known murderer, he was actually a very well known palm reader.
Okay.
And he was very big in the occult world. Like so there's you've probably heard of Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
I'm guessing,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, of
If
course.
you listen to metal, we would have gotten references to him at some
I
point.
mean, like, you know,
Satanic T-shirt.
you know,
Okay.
The ordained minister.
We've all heard of Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley had a secretary called Israel Regardie, who I'm actually a big fan of Israel Regardie's books. I genuinely, just for video proof, keep a copy of Israel Regardie's book, The 1 Year Manual, in my backpack at all times. Right? So this guy, Andrew Fitzherbert, this fucking murderer, he used to run books for Israel Regardie. So not only is he a murderer, but there's also an Aleister Crowley connection.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was like, this is fucking crazy. So yeah, me and my friend Soph, we sat. She's like, dude, watch this doc. It's a doc. And it was a doc on. It was aired originally on Channel 7. It's on YouTube now. Look up Andrew Fitzherbert, man. I watched a doco about this guy murdering this woman, and he was in the room next door. This was like an old Queensland house that they'd sort of converted into apartments. So I'm not being like meandering when I say he was literally in the fucking room next door. It was a surreal feeling, man. It was a surreal feeling watching a
You
documentary.
never know, man. You never know.
That's
You never
wild.
know.
That's
It
wild.
was,
Okay.
so that's probably an interesting thing. That's probably one of the
That's
most
fucking
interesting
mental.
to me this year.
That is wild.
This year.
So, next question there. You've obviously done a lot of different stuff musically over the years. You've experimented a fair bit with some different things. What do you reckon the cringiest band name or song name that you've ever been involved with is?
Thunderstick. One of my first bands when I was 16 years old was a band called Thunderstick. It was thunder and stick. It wasn't spelled CK, brother. It was spelled double K because we were glam as fuck.
Oh, man. I'm assuming one of the lyrics would have been "She got the thunder stick."
I don't even remember. We were actually like half trying to be Motley Crue, half trying to be Murder Dolls. We didn't know.
Oh,
who the fuck-
wow. Jeez, that's...
Yeah,
Ooh, that's a mix.
It was
Nice.
different. It was
I like
different.
that. I mean, to be fair, Murder Dolls was like this close to being
True.
glam rock anyway, right?
I served members of Wednesday 13's band when I was working behind a bar at Brightside at Glamfest, which also had Pretty Boy Floyd and Faster Pussycat and all the hair metal bands. And Wednesday 13, he speaks openly about being influenced by bands like Tough. And Joey Jordenson's first concert was Faster Pussycat and Slaughter. So,
Oh, wow. There you go.
Love that. All right, before we move on to the next segment, I just one more question for you. Bringing it back to something a little bit easier, a little bit more wholesome. If you could give your younger self one piece of musical advice, what would it be?
play more guitar, man. Like, and I don't, listen here, little Jakey. I don't mean like get good at like shredding. I just mean like just strum some chords and just like sing into them and, you know, be able to like play some more songs for like girls at parties and stuff.
the campfire guitarist. No, just know how to navigate. And really, it helps you at least bring an idea to the table a bit more. It's like, here's what I'm thinking along with these lyrics, instead of being, okay, here's what I've got guitar-wise, write lyrics for it. Because you might have something in your mind that you want to be able to translate to your good guitarist.
Yes, and also, like, so I left school, I dropped out of high school at age 16, and I went and studied music business Cert 2 and 3 under Andrea Smith. And so I was great with marketing myself. I was always great at social media and making myself seem larger than life and self-mythologizing, to use a Salvador Dali quote, or Jim Rose Circus. So I was interested in marketing myself, like the Jim Rose Circus, or Salvador Dali, or P.T. Barnum, or Gene Simmons, or Aleister Crowley. The way they would like make themselves larger than life. You know what I mean? I knew how to read a record contract before I could sing in key.
Oh wow!
I did not study music theory. I opened for the Misfits, and I couldn't sing in key.
Fuck.
How the fuck does that happen?
That's knowing the business. That's knowing the business. Fuck.
Like, how the fuck does that happen?
That's
How
fuck.
the fuck does a kid get to open for one of the most legendary bands of all time? And I was so wet behind the ears and so green. I don't know. Because I was just popular. I had charisma. I didn't have a great voice, but I had charisma, and I was always a good front man. I always knew how to hype the crowd up, even if they didn't like my singing. They liked me. They liked my personality. And now it's like the singing caught up later, you know what I mean? Like, I went down to Melbourne. You can't piss like a puppy if you want to run with the big dogs. So I went and got some fucking mad vocal lessons off of Peter Vox, who's also the vocal teacher for like All Day, North Lane.
Oh wow.
Airborne. So that's why I can hit notes that only fucking dogs can hear now. But I've also got the fucking charisma and the punkness. You know, I came up with bands in the Brisbane scene like the John Experiment and Whiskey and Speed, man. And they just did not give a fuck, man. That's why, like, people, like, they come and see a fucking hair metal band. They don't expect, they expect some dude to say, trying to look pretty and shake his cock and shit. And, like, no, man, I'll get up on the fucking table and fucking hit a high note and make your fucking head explode like Tenacious D, cunt. Let's go.
Love that.
So much energy.
Love that, man. All right, this is great. See, I knew this was going to be a good one. I knew this would be a good one. All right, Kyle, if you would be so kind.
Can I just go grab a beer?
Absolutely you can, man. Absolutely
okay.
you can, man.
All right, I'll be back in a sec.
Yeah, be back in
While
a few minutes,
we
man.
do that, have you got any shows coming up? Have we got any shows coming up that we need to talk about? Because we forgot to do that.
We forgot to do that. I'm so sorry, man. I've been out of the loop with that stuff. I haven't.
I
got
have
anything
been
queued up
too.
to talk about. But look, like I said, just a reminder, like, you know, if you haven't seen our latest reactions on the Metal Ruse channel,
Yeah,
head
go
over there
check
and
them out.
We've been checking out the latest stuff from Caligula's Horse. We got one coming up on the new North Lane.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other ones over there. So, and also, if you like your heavy metal news, you like interviews, you like album reviews, all that stuff, go and check out Metal Ruse. They've got a great crew over there, which we are honored to be a part of, and they cover all kinds of stuff. And they've been doing interviews with bands that are touring soon. I know they've been doing, like, I'm pretty sure they had some stuff with Mudvayne. They've had some stuff with some of the bands that are going to be on Good Things and the whole deal. So, plenty of cool stuff coming up there. Go and check those ones out. And, you know, we're going to keep doing those. We just do some reactions over there. You know, it's just a little bit. We're not so it's not just us. You know.
No, it's a whole team. It's a whole team over
You
there.
can go and see some people that are much better at this than we are.
Yeah.
And you know, you can catch all of that cool stuff there. And they got a website where they have, like, stuff written if you prefer to read your stuff and you don't really like watching
Blogs and shit.
that stuff online. They got blogs and written
You can
interviews,
go buy
all that cool
merch.
stuff as
You
well.
can buy Metal Ruse merch.
Get all your merch and stuff and all this kind of cool stuff.
And
And
some
like
of
I
it's
said, I'm
fire.
gonna be-
I love it. I'm going
Yeah.
to have to get me a
Yeah.
shirt.
Like I said, if you're going to be at Good Things this weekend, keep an eye out for me. I'll be down there running around, you know, catching all the cool bands and stuff. So don't hesitate to come up and say hi if you happen to see me down there. And yeah, I'll be getting some footage and doing some interviews and stuff down there. And
Can't wait to see
trying
the
to
footage.
trying to do a bit of a gig report on Good Things. So I'll be coming down there and talking about that. But yes, Kyle, if you would be so kind, my friend, it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Would you please hit the thing?
Come on, if you want to fight.
Oh, come on then.
Get in the bin.
Are you enjoying the weather there, mate? What? Are you enjoying the weather there?
Yeah!
Alright. It's time for everybody's favourite segment, previously known by another name, but now that we're on YouTube, we sort of tidied it up a little bit. We renamed it to Get in the Bin. And the whole point here is you can see it up in the background here. You can see the Infinity Gauntlet hiding up here with all the stones and everything in it. So if our boy Jakey had a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet and could snap his fingers and erase 3 things out of existence from the music industry, what would they be and why? When you are ready, sir, your first one.
Industry plants. The only plant I fuck with in the music industry is Robert Plant. I am sick of this fucking nepotism fucking bullshit, man. These dudes, these women, these NBs, whatever, they're putting out this fucking lukewarm, watered down. I hate it, man. It's like Colgate. It's like a Colgate commercial, but like for your ears. Like, nah, man, I want my shit with a little bit of stank on it. So, man, I sing fucking harsh, dude. Like, I never had a handout in my life. I've played with the Misfits. I played at the Kiss convention. Members of Kiss, like the original Catman was there. I've been awarded some amazing opportunities in my life. I've been offered like record deals with the same record companies like Skid Row and LA Guns, all these bands that I admire. I had to fucking fight tooth and nail for that shit. I had to fucking struggle, man. I had to struggle, man. And I just hate that we all get steamrolled over by these people that are like, you're a fucking pussy cunt. What are you gonna fucking tell me about rock and roll? You've never had to struggle for anything in your fucking life. You were born with a silver spoon, a stainless steel spoon in your anus. Fuck you. Fuck that shit, man. I'm over this industry plant bullshit, dude. I'm over it. They got money. My father will fire your father. My dad owns a chain of hotels. Yeah, cunt. Cool. My mum beat the shit out of me and I went through foster care. I'll hit a high note and blow your fucking head up.
Yeah. I did not know Paris Hilton was a fucking DJ until this week.
I don't mind. You know what?
I did not know that
she's
was a
fine.
thing.
You know what? She's not included in this. I don't that type of DJing that she does. That's not a part of the music industry.
I didn't know.
You know what I mean? I don't count Shaquille O'Neal and Paris Hilton as DJs. Like I would Daniel, like our own Daniel here. You know what I mean? That's a different. What they do is a different thing.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. In my opinion.
No, that's very fair. That's very, very fair. And I mean, I think there's definitely, you know, that's something that I think there's a lot of. My thing on that is, I don't necessarily care how they got there. I care if they care. You know, if someone can extrapolate
on that.
Yeah, sure. So someone can have, you know, due to familial connections or whatever, can have a lot of advantages in the music industry, and that in and of itself isn't something that I'm overly bothered by. I'm like, you know, bands can still, you know, but what I care about is, why are they doing music? You know, are they doing music to make money? Are they doing music because, look, I'm gonna do this because it's like, this is how, you know, my dad's made money, or I'm, you know, gonna leverage all my connections to make $1 million, and or are they doing it because, like, yes, okay, I'm fortunate enough to have these connections, but I'm doing it because I love music.
Yeah, but you find most of those people are already in the industry, and they've changed their names. And
I think that if that's their attitude and they're in it for the right reasons and they acknowledge the privilege that they've got, through that connections or through that familial wealth that allows them to gain access to a lot of this stuff, then, you know, for me personally, that's the thing. But I mean, look, that's just my view on it. You know, and I'm not trying to change your view either. Like, you know,
not at all.
You're getting the bin 100%. I'm just like,
I have a response to what you just said there too, because there's like I'm I'm not just when I hold an opinion. I know I'm a Libra, so I always put myself in other positions of like. So let me start this part off with this. I respect Rob Schneider's daughter. Yes, Rob Schneider. You can do it! More than I respect Corey Taylor's son.
Okay.
Rob Schneider's daughter. What is even her fucking name, man? She's that country singer that sang X's and O's. You know that song X's and O's? Country song? What? Right, big fucking hit. Elle King. Elle King. So if anybody watching has heard of Elle King, I'm about to blow your fucking mind. That is Rob Schneider. You can do it! That's his daughter.
Yeah, like I just said, anyone that does do it for the pure love of the passion of the art changes their name. A lot of famous people are famous people's parents, and they've changed their name and they refuse to use their parents' clout to get them into places. They may do it a little bit, to an extent, but they never use the family name.
She's never ever tapped into her dad's resources. She just worked her fucking ass off, and she's the only one that I've ever seen do that. Do I like Vended? Corey Taylor's, I can't even remember like the son's name, but yeah, they fucking make great music, man. The kid can sing, man. Like fuck yeah, dude. The riffs are fat, the band are tight. Do I like the music? Shit yeah. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like the music, man. It's cool, it rips. The kid can fucking shred, bro. I'm not gonna denigrate his art because it actually is good music. But how he got there?
But that's,
See,
they
that
wouldn't have gotten that. Like Vended would, if Vended didn't have the connections, and I'm not saying that they're because look, a lot of this is on the music media as well. The music media is going, oh, this is Corey Taylor's son's band, and you know maybe they're doing that because they get sent the stuff from Slipknot's publicists because Slipknot's like, you know, has all the connections so they can do that. But like if Vendor didn't have the connections, then they would just be our fucking band.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, and I get what Jake's saying here. This is where he should and I get what you're saying, Raf, but this is where the son maybe should be saying. I'm not saying he should or he shouldn't, because at the end of the day, if you have leverage, fuck, you're dumb not to use it. But to anyone that's sort of like in that purist sort of realm, that really goes like you got to grind your teeth and cut your teeth first, he probably should have just gone, Dad, if you touch my music, I'm going to fucking emancipate myself from you. I'm doing this the way you done it, and I'm going to cut my teeth. I'm not putting I'm not putting the Taylor name in this. Like I'm changing my name for these albums, and no one's going to know that you're my dad, because I don't want it to happen like that. And because the worst part about it now, and this is where it would piss me off, just because of my ego a little bit, you'll never be known as your own man. You'll always be known as Corey Taylor's son.
You're never going to live up to... You're never going to live... You're going to live... Elle King. That's why Elle King. Rob Schneider could be like... He's one of the biggest movie star comedians of all time. Elle King... The only reason I even fucking know that they were related, that I can drop that little truth bomb, is because of a fucking Cracked article that I read, man. She does not advertise that. She's never mentioned that. He doesn't mention her. It's that it's only because literally like of a... I don't know, man. It's just like people. You know what the internet's like. We're all detectives.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? I get what you're saying, and look, who's to say that the guys invented didn't say to their dads, "We'd prefer if you just let us do this," and their dads went,
well, I don't know the story.
We don't care. We're going to share it anyway.
There's
a lot of information there that we don't know. Is all I'm saying. You know, and I think that. You know, if we could, there's a lot of stuff that we're just never gonna know. Yeah. And I think that's just my thing on it.
Yeah. The last thing I would want as a band to be known as, that's the kids from Slipknot.
Oh, well, that's it. Like
people don't, bro. I don't want that. I don't want that pressure.
Know the band as.
I don't want that pressure. I
don't want that. They know that as the Slipknot baby.
I gotta say something too, because like I said, I don't just sit to one opinion. Like I can sort of see things from different sides. You know what I mean? I'm like David Bowie and Madonna. I'm always like, I can, changing and morphing and understanding things. So at the same time, man, if I have a plumbing business,
Yeah.
and I have like a plumbing business, and then my son becomes a plumber, that's handing down the family line. The same way that Drew Barrymore came from a fucking Hollywood dynasty of like theater actors. Sometimes that's the family business, and the family business might be heavy metal. So I do get it in some ways, but in other ways I'm like, it's fucked, because it's pushing someone out. That's,
But don't forget, man.
I get you.
But don't forget, they got friends as well. They got friends that are in bands.
We'll ask for your second one. We'll ask for your second one in a
number 2.
moment. But one more thing before we go on to that. What I'll say is, how is it any different? Those bands using the connections and resources and opportunities available to them. How is that any different to, the one or two local bands going through a period where they're getting a lot of offers for international supports, and they're just taking the offers that they're given, and everyone else in the scene sitting around going, "Oh, why are they getting all the fucking opportunities?"
Yeah, you're not going to say no.
Like when they want to hate, because that's happened, and like
it does.
happens.
I've done it.
But I don't see it as being any different. I don't see it as
no.
In some ways,
there is a difference though. There is a difference. Diva Demolition,
and you weren't bought into it.
Shout out them, but they had someone that worked at Ticketek. That's why they got to open for Aerosmith. That's why they got to open for Motley Crue. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't say it. Controversial. Maybe I'm talking too much. I've had a few too many beers. But Diva Demolition, they only got to open for Aerosmith and Motley Crue because someone worked at Ticketek that was in their family. I got to open at the Kiss convention and the Misfits because I worked my fucking ass off.
Yeah, and I'm not saying. Here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that it's like. My point is, it's everyone wants to use the connections and resources available to them to achieve their goals. That's all they're doing. And whether there's a lot more that goes into it behind the scenes than most of us will ever know. That's more my point here. But anyway,
you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't like nepotism because I'm fucking jealous because I don't have that.
And there it is.
Let's go. Sigmund Freud would have a fucking field day with this.
You know what? True.
And that's where a lot of it comes from.
I've spoken about this enough times to realize, would I like that fucking opportunity? Would I like to be able to steamroll every other cunt? Because daddy fucking sucked some record deals, record executives cock back in the 70s. Hell yeah! But I don't. So I'm jealous.
Yeah.
And I have to work twice as hard.
And I think that's
at least
for a lot of it. Like,
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I can admit it comes from a bit of a place of jealousy. You know what I mean? Like there's the things that. Anyway, we got to kind of wrap this up by like 9 o'clock. So let's get it moving on this. Okay. So what's your second one?
Oh, thing that I would like removed from
you could
get two more.
Put in the bin. You got two.
Okay,
more.
well, I'm sick of rappers rapping over their own lyrics. Just rap live. Just rap live.
So having the whole track playing underneath.
Yeah, like I even considered doing that myself for my own rap shows, but I'm like, that's fucking shitty. I come from a rock and roll background. People like one thing that's put me on the map and awarded me the opportunities that I have is because I can fucking scream, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's people singing, rapping. I'm pretty good at those. But one thing that any motherfucker will tell you is I can scream, bro.
Yeah,
I got a wicked scream. So do that shit live. I want to hear your actual voice, man.
Yeah,
it's like,
I appreciate that.
That's the ground floor of hip hop. That's the ground floor of rapping. It's the ground floor of music in general.
Yeah. Like either have a hype man, or have just the hype parts. Just a little. Work out where you need to take a breath at the end of a line, and just have that part in there for emphasis, and then you do it. Like that's what I know. That's what a lot of people I know do. I think that's really, really good. I think that's the best way to approach it. That's
my third thing.
Yeah.
Removed from the music industry is. Well, we've already touched on this, is Spotify not paying artists enough.
Yep.
Pay me, motherfucker. Pay
At
me.
least, at least
Pay Dan. Pay everyone. We're all getting paid.
10 cents? 10 cents a track? Is that too much to ask? 10 cents?
Dude, even that could be life changing for some of us.
10 cents?
Like, are you kidding?
That'll
Are
at
you
least
kidding?
that'll at least get some new EPs recorded for a lot of these bands.
Yeah.
I
That'll,
would
like,
like
like
to
that would
be
at least
able to
get that
pay
would at
my
least get
Nancy
so
Redd
that would at least get so many bands back in the studio.
10 cents a stream would allow so many more bands to do music as a career, even at just the enough to get by stage.
Yeah, you just be able to make
You
it
know?
sustainable, where you can actually put a little bit more effort into it,
Yeah.
The goalposts have been moved so fucking far. For
and they
That's what
keep
I mean,
moving
like,
it.
They constantly want to devalue music, but and to be fair, it enables greater access on both ends to music, which
Double-edged sword.
it's a
Double-edged
double-edged
sword.
sword. It's a double-edged sword. It allows more artists to get their music out to more people, which is a positive. It allows people to discover so much music that I've listened to I would never have found without these kind of services.
Yeah,
So there's positives like there again. It allows access for artists and discoverability for fans. But the price that has come at is the devaluation of music.
it's basically they
You can be famous, but you won't be rich.
no, and you know what? It's almost like they've worked out. I just had this epiphany. It's almost like Spotify have worked out the perfect formula. Because what's always the best musician? Starving musicians. If you only just give them enough, where they're getting that validation, because musicians, we feed off validation. We do. It's our prime substance.
Oh hell yeah, man!
It's our prime
Hell
substance.
yeah.
When you see those,
I got LSD, man. I got lead singer syndrome. I love attention.
man, when you see
compliments in my
those
voice,
numbers,
like-
when you see those numbers tick over on those streams, man, you say it fills your ego, and you feel mad, and it sustains you, and you want to, and you don't think about the money. What do you think about? What's the next track? I want to work harder. Are they going to listen to it more? Let's get the next one out. And you'll sell your soul for it. You'll work, you'll bust ass. And they've worked out, if they pay you too much, you're not starving anymore. You're not going to make good music.
Yeah, and look,
I don't think it's because they don't want to say. No, I like that. I wish it was like that. That's cute. I like that.
It's a good theory. Yeah, it's
That's a nice fantasy land where they care about good art. But the thing is, it's a fucking ice cream cone shitting dog turds on a fucking conveyor
Oh
belt
no, that's
at
what you
this
don't
point.
get. That's what the Taylor Swifts and the rest of them are for. That's to make them the big dollars. We're all here to scrounge out the rest, just to keep everyone interested.
Wait, can I just say on this podcast, I want to make it officially known, Taylor Swift fucking sucks. Fuck Taylor Swift.
He said
The only
it,
reason-
not us.
They didn't say it. Swifties. I love attention, good or bad. So please come
Look,
for me.
I'm going to come on the Taylor Swift thing here. Okay, so do you know the story about Taylor Swift? How she took on her record label and won.
Yeah, great, good for her.
Yeah, so what basically happened, and this is a cool story, man. I'm sorry, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. She had a record label bring out her tracks or whatever, and they were going to release them on Spotify, and she was like, "This is not a good cut." And they're like, "But they're our songs," and she's like, "No, they're my masters."
That's not what happened, bro. The record company released those fucking shit. She just wanted to own the masters.
Yeah.
Those albums came out years ago.
I know, she re-released them.
She just wanted to own them,
'Cause-
and because Scooter Braun, no, what actually happened, bro? I'll tell you. You want an industry
Yeah.
insight? Scooter Braun bought the company that owned her masters, and because she didn't like Scooter Braun, she was like, "You, I'm gonna re-record them, and it's gonna be Taylor's version." So it has. What you're saying, that's some fictionalized version.
Taylor obviously didn't want to know how much the fish was.
Here's the thing: the only reason that she was able to do that is because of the resources that she had access
Yeah,
to.
that's true.
The average
Musician.
musician
Oh, bro, you're
would
gone.
not have a chance in hell.
You're gone. You're gone. Your songs are gone into
And that's,
oblivion.
why do you think bands like Metallica once they had all the money to do so, paid out the
Got their
ass
masters.
to buy their masters from Warner Brothers.
Motley Crue and Metallica were like two of the first to do it, man.
And they,
Like,
you
two
know,
of the
why do you
first.
think people
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson wanted to buy
He bought the Beatles.
masters of the Beatles?
He bought them. He walked in to Paul McCartney the next week after Paul McCartney gave him the advice, and then he goes,
He's like, I think I'll buy them.
yeah, he goes, oh,
It
he
is
goes,
crazy.
I took your advice. He goes, yeah, whose songs did you buy? He goes, I bought yours.
I bought your catalog.
So yeah, look, it's one of those.
That's
you know,
ignorant.
it's very, very, you know, lots of cool stuff. But thank you so much. Let's take this home. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I gotta get out.
We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up, boys.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, my friend. It was amazing to talk to you and catch up. What area? Don't have to like give anything away, but like, are you like north side, south side? Whereabouts are you like in Brisbane at the moment? Like you live in at the moment?
Fuck. Are
You out where? You west? Are you like?
I live near Sunnybank. I'll say
Oh.
that. So
Cool.
I don't know where that is. I see north side and west side because I was so like, I grew up in Ipswich, and then basically as soon as I could walk and like run, I went to Sydney and went to Melbourne. I'm not too familiar with like Brisbane suburbs, so like I have no
Oh, look,
idea what
Me
fucking side I'm
neither.
on.
Me neither. I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I like if some stuff's like north side. It's okay. So yeah, you're down on the south side there. Cool. All right.
Okay, I'm south side. Okay, south side for life. What's up?
All right. Cool. But yeah. So yeah. Look. Thank you very much for coming.
I
on and talking about
really
the band.
cannot wait to see some more of
Keep
the
an eye
videos,
out.
man.
Yep. PULGIZARI. You guys are gonna head in the studio there. You're gonna have shows coming up next year. You mentioned as
Okay,
well.
so we are heading in the studio January 6th. We're going to cut 4 songs. We will be playing our first show on January 20th at Redcliffe. I
Ooh, where
Don't know-
we're in Redcliffe. Tribe.
give me a
Clubhouse?
second. Let me check a second.
Because I might have to try and come down to that one because I'm not.
I think you should. That's not too far from you.
We should
let
definitely
me
do a
see.
gig review. I really want to see this.
Okay, we're doing we're doing a gig at Tribe.
Yep. I thought it'd be
20th.
Tribe. Yep.
Is that what you just said? Tribe.
Yeah.
Tribe Clubhouse. Yeah, they're a good crew down
We're
there.
doing Tribe. Okay, so PULGIZARI's first show will be at Tribe January 20th at Redcliffe. Please come down. We will be recording. We'll be dropping singles and music videos. I'm going to be directing the music videos.
We're going to be
because-
reviewing the music videos.
Yep.
Lovely, great,
Go on
love
all
that.
the socials. We've tagged everything. So if you go to our page, Talk Music, you'll be able to find the right. Don't worry if you can't get the spelling. Just go to our page, and it'll be on there. It'll be tagged on there, and
Lovely.
we'll have all those links on there.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me on here. It was actually such a fucking honor, and I was so stoked. Like,
You don't have to kiss
only-
us, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm not blowing. I'm
You're
not blowing
that
smoke,
good.
cunt. Wait. Settle down. I'm not blowing smoke. I just want to say, man, like, just for the fact that like my band has only been together a few months. I've only known Danny and Ryan for a few months. We already have 5 banging songs written. I'm already being asked to come on to podcasts with legends like yourselves and discuss art and have these. Oh, yo, stop it! You're
Yeah,
gonna
pretty
make me
much.
embarrassed.
Pretty much.
Stop it! No, but for real, I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk about my fucking art because I miss this shit. I miss being able to fucking get on my little Kanye Axl Rose tangents and start yelling into a microphone about my fucking opinions about the music industry. It's been fun, boys. That's all I'm saying.
That's
I
what we
enjoyed this
try
shit.
and fucking do,
Well,
man.
next time we'll have to get the rest of the boys on, and we'll
I would
do
love that. I would
whole
love that.
I'd love
I
to
need-
see
I
Danny
need-
again. Danny's a good chat.
Danny, we need Danny here and Ryan here. And also,
Yeah.
I would just want to say too, if anybody's watching and you're a bitchin' fucking hair metal bass player, please inbox myself. I'm Jake Blatchley. We've got our drummer Danny Sharks, guitar player Ryan Wills. Please reach out to us. We are looking for a permanent bass player. We need someone that loves this kind of music as much as we do. The thing is, man, like, we're not just gonna get someone that's like, oh yeah, I'm more into hardcore, but I'll play bass in your hair metal band. No, motherfucker, you better love hair metal. You gotta have a passion for this shit as much as we do. You better have every Motley Crue lyric tattooed down the base of your cock. You gotta be into this shit.
That's a pretty big cock. That's a Tommy Lee size cock.
Yeah.
That's right. No, you don't have to
Or at
have
least,
Motley
at
Crue
least
lyrics.
sweet
You
potato.
don't have to have Motley Crue lyrics tattooed on your cock, but we would respect you more if you did.
At least tattooed on your soul.
All right, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
we
Well, yeah,
tattooed on my
reach out
soul,
to the
brother.
boys. Next time, like I said, next time we'll get the rest of the crew on, and we'll have you all on here to talk about some stuff
Oh, that would be
again.
lovely,
I will
man.
message me and remind me about the show at Redcliffe when it gets closer, because I will try and
will.
get down for that one,
Oh,
and
man.
I'll see if I can bring a few people with me.
That'd
And
be awesome.
it's been awesome to catch up, man. Thank you so much for jumping
You
on.
too,
here.
Daniel, man. I'm glad we got to catch up, bro. Like, I mean, even before this, man, I wanted to work with you in some capacity, man. I remember when I was doing my solo stuff, I hit you up to DJ for me.
Yep.
Like, and we were both living in the same area and stuff, man.
Yeah.
That fuck all the solo trap metal shit. Like, Season, it's cool, it was fun. But man, I'm back on my heavy metal, rock and roll, lead singer of everything, frontman of Planet Earth bullshit, PULGIZARI. We're coming to a stage near you. We're gonna melt your fucking face. Ryan's gonna melt your face. I'm gonna hit a high note and blow your fucking head up. Danny's gonna hit the snare drum so hard, it's gonna give some bitch a fucking abortion and rupture your dad's testicles. We're here to fucking go. Let's go.
I love that.
Oh,
Thank
the
you, everybody
energy.
who's tuned in today. We really very
Man.
much appreciate it. Thank you to my co-host, Kyle, aka Beer Buddy.